Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Up in just a moment, joining me in our entertainment and pop culture segment, brought to you by Romulus Entertainment. Today, we're featuring mother-daughter duo, Victoria and Sophie Fatu. Now, Sophie is a young American singer, actress, and influencer. She started singing at a very young age and quickly gained popularity for her incredible vocal talent, rising to fame after appearing on America's Got Talent back in 2018, where she wowed the judges with her rendition of Frank Sinatra's classics. She was just 5 years old at the time and became the youngest contestant to ever perform on the show. She has appeared in several movies since then, TV shows, and commercials, including an amazing supporting role in Last Looks, where she starred alongside Mel Gibson and Charlie Hunnam. Her infectious little smile lights up every scene she graces, making her an instant favorite. Born to shine, this young prodigy has taken the entertainment industry by storm, proving that age is just a number when it comes to pursuing your dreams. Joining her today is her mom, Victoria Fatu, Momager, shall I say, an internationally recognized pianist. Her name was added to the Golden Book of Russian Federation by the president. She has appeared in solo recitals and performed with symphonies around the world in front of presidents, royal families, and even the Pope. Victoria has performed as a soloist at Carnegie Hall, Châtelet Theatre in Paris, and many other iconic venues. Today, we're chatting child actors' career, balancing it all, and the one amazing mama behind everything. Welcoming now to the show is the incredible mother-daughter duo, Sophie and Vicky Fatu. Welcome to the show, my friends.
Hi, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much for being here. Hello, Sophie.
Hi, it's so nice to be here.
Oh, you are so sweet. What a precious little girl. Vicky, I'm going to start with you. Okay, so overall, being, of course, a child actor in Hollywood can be exciting and rewarding, but it also requires a strong support system and a responsible approach to maintain a healthy and balanced life, both on and off the camera. What is your overall mantra when it comes to Sophie's career?
You know, from day one, my number one goal was just listening to her and doing whatever she wants to do, honestly, because it was never okay, I want my child to be a musician, I want my child to be an actor. It came from her from day one, right? And as a mom who also have been a performer my entire life, I just wanted to make sure that I do my job, which is to keep her safe, to keep her happy, to keep her healthy, and just support her in all of her dreams, because she is for sure an extremely talented child, and it's something that we couldn't really help. As I said, it just happened, and my job was just to nurture her on her journey, because everything else, she got it.
Well, you're doing a great job. And listen, it's a hard job because every year over 20,000 child actors audition for roles in Hollywood. 95% of them don't book a single job. So you are doing something incredibly right. Now, Sophie, how did you first become interested in acting?
So it was actually a long time ago, like half of my life. Since I'm 10, it happened at 5. So we were at the hotel when we were at a hotel when I was on the bed, and I was wondering about, in movies and stuff, there are some characters then that have actors that can sing amazingly. And I had a little view of myself being on the red carpet or something. And I could imagine myself in a cartoon or a live action movie. And I just felt like I really wanted to. So I went up to Mommy, like, Mama, I kind of feel like I want to be an actor. And she said, oh, really? Maybe I could sign you up. And that's kind of how. And it's kind of weird because I just was on the bed and randomly thinking of that.
We were at America's Got Talent when that happened.
Oh, yeah.
Because she was at that time already performing a lot as a singer. And I think she says I know there's a lot of singers who are good actors. Like, I want to do that. And I think that's how it happened. We were at the hotel room. That's correct.
Yeah, talk about manifestation. You
Yeah.
envisioned it, you saw yourself on the red carpet, you saw yourself doing it, and now you are. That is very powerful, my dear. Now, Vicky, as a momager, you play a crucial role in managing her career and balancing her personal life. How do you handle the dual responsibilities of being a mother and a manager? And what strategies do you employ to maintain a healthy work-life balance?
This is such a good question. Yeah, I managed her music career. She has a fantastic manager for her acting. And of course she is signed with the agency. Again, number one, like, priorities. It all comes with priorities. Like, every time I wake up, I make sure that she's a good person first. She is a good person. She is a straight A plus student, actually. Yeah. Yes. So I want to make sure that she has a full childhood, right? And at the same time, I want to keep her responsible for her choices. And when you make the choice to be a performer and an actor, she knows that there's certain things she needs to do. She needs to keep up with her practicing, building her craft, perfecting her craft. That means, vocal lessons. That means acting lessons. That means just being responsive and accepting of discipline, because there's discipline, a lot of discipline comes behind it. But as I said, number one, I want her to be a happy, healthy child that has all the spectrums of the healthy childhood involved, right? Going to school, having friends, having fun, and of course, listening and being very careful about her comfort zone, because it's really easy to step out of the comfort zone for a child, get overwhelmed, and forget what it's all about. Because
Oh, yeah, of course. And in an industry that's known for its glamour, high risk, high reward, and never without sacrifices, I mean, parents are critical in ensuring long-term success. So I'm glad that you are thinking like that. Sophie, can you tell us about your favorite role or character you've played so far?
Well, I've been in quite a few roles, and they were all great, but I have to say that my favorite was probably in The Last Look, so because it was just really an enchanting experience. So the character was really fun. I liked the script, and I made a lot of good friends along the way, like Charlie Hunnam and Mel Gibson. And the thing is that, like, they were amazing and kind and friendly, and I love that I got to meet them.
Oh, you were definitely quite professional on that movie set. I remember you. You were cute as a button. You were prepared. You knew your lines. Your mom was there every step of the way. And I was quite proud that you were in that film. You did a fantastic job. Now, Vicky, can you share an example of a difficult decision you had to make as a momager and how you handled it?
Yeah, it's kind of like comes in a package. You always face very difficult decisions, right? Well, I think the biggest one was when she just first started singing, because it's happened pretty much overnight. She became viral, and as a musician, I always said, like, my kids will not be musicians. My kids will not be performers. It's too hard of a lifestyle, right? But then we were living in West Virginia at the time, and I had a very steady job. I was a college professor, department chair. We were comfortable. We were like, okay, I know what's gonna happen. And then, as I say, overnight you wake up and your child is suddenly wanted by the entire world. Like, TV shows want her, and everybody wants her to perform. And she's 4 years old. So I guess the biggest thing that happened is I had to make that very quick decision of leaving my life behind, packing up and moving to Los Angeles, because that's what demand was. Because her agency, her manager said, like, if you do want this to happen for her and she really has what it takes, we don't see you commuting quite as much. So I had to pack up my 3 kids, quit my job, and move to Los Angeles. It's like jumping into complete darkness, right?
Wow, that's some commitment, Mama. That's a big
Yeah.
commitment.
And another one, sometimes we receive auditions roles that could be really good potentially, but then I could see her not being comfortable with the role. I might not be comfortable, and this is the moment when we have to make that decision. It's like, what's better for her in the long run?
Yeah,
So
very true.
it's easy to be tempted. It's easy to be tempted by something that potentially can give her a big name, but is it good for her in the long run? So these are the moments where I really it's like walking on eggshells. Like you don't really know if you're making the right decision. You have to go with your gut and with your heart on what's better for your child.
Oh, well said. Good job, Mama. You're doing a great job. Now, of course, you obviously foster this supportive environment, but you're managing the pressures and the demands of her career. And we touched upon this a little bit earlier. I mean, sometimes even child celebrities, their own parents can forget to let their kids be kids. And we know some examples when actress Drew Barrymore was a child. Her mother took her to Studio 54, a New York nightclub, instead of school. She became addicted to drugs as a child. She entered rehab for the first time at the age of 12. She relapsed at 13. At age 14, she survived, some pretty complicated medical issues. And then she became emancipated from her mother. You seem to have an amazing, incredible relationship with all of your kids. How important is it that you foster that nurturing environment where it's not just about Sophie, but the other children are also being tended to?
Oh my gosh, you have all the best questions. Yeah, that's what I was talking about from the very beginning of this interview. It's just like you set your priorities straight from day one. It's like you're a mother. You make sure that your children are healthy and happy, and it's not easy, because when one child is always in a spotlight, how do you tend to the other two? Because you always need to make sure that you emphasize their own talents, their own special qualities. And of course, like, it can be challenging when you are traveling with one of the kids all the time, right? So yeah, I'm trying as much as possible to kind of encourage and always appreciate the talents of my other children. My youngest one is actually, he's autistic. So of course there's a lot of things to discover every day, because, he is such a genius in many ways, but he's so challenging in all the other ways. So it's just, it's a constant battle for balance. It's constant battle of what's best for them. And of course it's, as you said, it's never easy. It's non-stop learning process, like all the time.
For sure. Sophie, what's your favorite genre of film or television to work on? And how do you prepare for your auditions or casting calls?
Well, there are a lot of genres, and I don't know, but there is sometimes where it's kind of moody, and this is something I like to do. I love to cry on command, because I'm actually pretty good at crying on command, and I have did it a few times for a few roles or when I was auditioning for something, and it's really fun for me.
It's so funny because every time she gets an audition when she has to like cry or like break down the spot, her manager's like, she's gonna get this one, right? Because that's her thing.
That's her thing.
She is so good, and take after take, she'll go from, okay, I'm ready, and then just go to a full breakdown. I don't know how she does it, but it's kind of freaky. It's amazing.
Well, I mean, you are emotionally available, and that's what makes you a good actor. I'm going to cut to a commercial break. We'll be right back. Stand by. Don't move a muscle. Guys, you definitely have to check out Sophie and Vicky Fatu. They're all over the gram. Influencer, mommy-daughter duo, actors, musicians, pianists, the whole thing. They got the whole package. Check them out at vicky.fatu and at Sophie Fatu. That was our entertainment and pop culture segment, brought to you by Romulus Entertainment. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Your Home TV.
Hi, this is Kathy Ireland here on A Moment of Zen, brought to you by Your Home TV. We've developed an all-inclusive subscription-free network that you're going to love, whether it's financial freedom, fashion, beauty, health and wellness, wonderful weddings, travel and culture, cooking, entertainment, and short-form documentaries, programming for everyone. Classic films and new shows, including Kathy Ireland Presents American Dreams. We've developed this network just for you. Please check out yourhometv.com.
Tune in to A Moment of Zen, Saturday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. on WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio.
Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Welcoming back to our entertainment and pop culture segment are Sophie and Vicky Fatu. Welcome back, my friends.
Hey, thank you.
Okay, let's continue with this amazing interview. So, Sophie, how do you handle nerves or stage fright when performing?
Well, I'll be honest. I don't get nervous.
Ooh, you
It's crazy.
Yeah,
you don't.
maybe like a few of the excitement butterflies, but yeah, they're excitement.
Oh, well, that's because you are so sure of your craft and you're certain of your abilities, and that's what makes you so unique and so confident. What advice would you give to other children who want to pursue acting?
Well, I want to say that um, do your thing like if you want to, but if you want to act, then go for it, and don't ignore like haters and everything. But also, I want to remind you that being an actor is hard, and there are a lot of responsibilities. You have to memorize lines. You have to make sure that you have the emotions. You have to make sure that you don't get overheated, or like if the clothes is uncomfortable. Those are gonna be some stuff that you're gonna experience. Um, but you have to make sure you're mature, and you have to make sure that you're ready for it.
You are so full of advice, my dear. That is great, great pointers that you're giving us. Thank you so much for that insight. I'm going to keep all that into consideration, and I'm pretty sure people listening are taking your advice. Now, Vicky, how often do you have to collaborate with agents and publicists and coaches to support all of Sophie's career goals? Is it a daily thing, a weekly thing? Is it once every couple of months? How does it work?
You know, we kind of go in periods. Like there's sometimes it's a constant nonstop thing, and sometimes with these cool periods when it just like here and there. It just depends on how busy she is at the moment. Definitely, pandemic changed a lot. We went from like going nonstop to complete silence, and then we picked up again. And definitely her lessons, like things like coaching and things like that, once a week singing, occasional acting coaching, it's kind of a must. Like it's something that always goes depending of if he has projects or not. Because as I said, her craft has to be constantly refined and advanced. So this is something that we do all the time. And we always talk. Like this is interesting thing not many parents talk about or even do, but it's very important to kind of go back to talking with her, being each other's therapist, just understand, how do you feel about this, like what do you want to do next, how do you feel about the future. It's just very important because people change their minds, and sometimes again it's very tempting to get carried away, and to say like, no, you have to do this, you have to do this, no, you study, you have to do this, because this is where it gets to the dangerous point when a child might not be interested anymore and not be comfortable anymore, but the parent is so in that they're like, no, 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 we're doing this, we have to do this. So it's just very important to slow down sometimes and have an actual honest talk with your child, regardless of the age, actually.
Great advice. And listen, there are approximately 65,000 actors working in the United States. SAG-AFTRA members include over 160,000 actors, broadcast journalists, and other media professionals. We have about 55% of actors at female, while about 45% currently are male. So the statistics to start to make sure that the young actors coming into the generation of where Hollywood is currently at understand that this is a business, that it's not just fun and games, that it is just like everything else. To Sophie's point, you have to put in the work. You have to make sure that you're practicing your vocal skills. You have to make sure that you are on point with your body language and your movement. You have to make sure that you're aware of your environment, your blocking. You have to know all of this, and it takes a lot of skill, and if you don't practice, you're not going anywhere. So the fact that this is something that you live and breathe is very indicative of the success that she has had. Now, Sophie, how do you if there's one thing out there, is I'm going to say most children your age have had inspiration. They've had mentors. Obviously, you have a mom that is very talented, and you're growing up in an environment that's very artistic. Who are your role models and favorite actors or actresses outside of mommy?
Well, the thing is, like, for me, actually, I think that, like, myself is a good I really think that I'm like a good role model, and I believe in myself. So yeah.
I think you are too. I in fact would point you out to anybody looking to be getting into the industry, because you are a great role model, not only for your family and for your friends, but to other little boys and girls out there that want to live out their dream and be a performer. So that was a great answer, my love. Now, Vicky, at last closing thoughts here. What is it that, if you could give a piece of advice to parents out there, what would you want to say?
Believe in your dreams. Assess your possibilities. Be honest with yourself. Ask yourself a question: why do you want to do this? What's the real reason behind it? Are you living vicariously through your children? Are you truly see something? Are you willing to face the rejection? Are you willing to understand that life is not always what you want it to be? But also, are you willing to fully understand that sometimes people turn around an inch away from success? So are you willing to, if there is a clear talent in your child, if there is a clear possibility for something great, are you willing to get up and keep going? Like, are you, and also at the same time, are you willing to listen to your child every step of the way and understand that sometimes the sacrifices are not sacrificing something of your child for success, but are you willing to sacrifice some of the success for your well-being of your child? It's just kind of like, advice is never stop asking questions. Never stop asking questions.
Never stop, and learning and really kind of understanding the process of where you're at mentally along with your child. I totally get that.
Absolutely.
Now, what upcoming projects can we see you in, Sophie?
You're performing this Saturday, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
She's like, yeah, I forgot about that one.
I forgot.
I have a concert on June 3rd.
Yes, it's this Saturday. She has a big there's gonna be a lot of, oh my gosh, big people and politicians gonna be there. It's gonna be downtown in Los Angeles, and she's gonna be performing 2 of the new songs. And she's been so excited about it, because she is now lately, she was all about jazz before, and now she's kind of moving towards more of a old country, which is kind of
but also some other genres. Like, at this point, I'm kind of experiencing, but for I am moving a bit more to the country,
and she likes spiritual music a lot, like, and we're not deeply into religion, but suddenly again, there's something that just came out of her, and we're willing to experience and go with it, because she's inspiring a lot of people, whether she knows it or not. It's amazing how we get messages like, Sophie, I needed to hear this today. It's so weird. When you're 10 years old and people tell you that online, it's like, you know what? I needed this today. And
you guys are amazing.
That's the whole reason we're doing this.
Thank you so much for coming on. You guys are incredible. Sophie, thank you so much. Vicky, what an incredible family you have.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, if children are going to be acting in TV and movies, they need to be given the resources necessary to cope with the mental toll of the job. Having a third-party mental health professional on all sets to monitor working conditions and help entertainers sort through their emotions after demanding scenes is essential. I advocate for that. Additionally, I recommend that all guardians and reps of children entertainers be required to take a course on the industry and media literacy, also extremely important. This way, families can be educated on the risks of having a child in the public eye. Not everybody is as well-versed and as smart as Vicky Fatu. We have let too many young celebrities suffer for the sake of our entertainment. As more former child stars speak out on the harm inflicted by the industry, it's our responsibility to listen. We must create better and safer working environments for today's kids. Sophie is in the amazing hands of her loving mama, Vicky. And with the star power steadily rising, this young actor has already worked alongside some of the biggest names in the industry, leaving a lasting impression with her versatility and, of course, her undeniable cute little talent. That was our entertainment and pop culture segment brought to you by Romulus Entertainment. That was the incredible Vicky and Sophie Fatu. Check them out on the gram at vicky.fatu and at Sophie Fatu. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.